What's up? This is your man DJ Square now from the DJ Information Group. And guess what? We have a special treat. We got this one that's come all the way. She's out of New York, y'all, upstate New York, but it's okay. It's New York. So we got her. She's sitting here. She's chilling. She got a big smile on her face. She's a DJ. She's doing big things up there in her city. And who am I talking about? None other than DJ Miss Official. What's up?
What's going on? Not much. Just chill.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
So, DJ Miss Official, we know that you look pretty young. Start out, So can you just talk to me about how long you've been a DJ?
I have my first time touching turntables is 10 years old. I'm a generation DJ, as my grandfather liked to call it. So my grandfather and father both are DJs. Well, my dad's not a DJ anymore, but my grandfather still is. Um, I went professionally. I would do family events and stuff like that till I was about 15, and then I went professionally at 16. I did all the house parties for high school, sneaking out, taking my grandfather's turntables. But yeah. So I'm almost at retirement age if I really want to call it, but I ain't gonna do that yet.
At retirement age.
Yeah.
So what's going on for you up there in what part of New York?
I am what they call us upstate, but we're really not upstate. We're more like central New York. I'm more by the military academy, West Point, New York, but we call my little city called Newburgh.
Gotcha, Newburgh.
Six
Now,
borough.
believe it or not, Newburgh is pretty popular. Even in the city. When we talk to somebody, they'd be like, "Yo, where you from?" You'd be like, "Upstate," and they'd be like, "We're at upstate." And Newburgh was always the answer that I heard when I was growing up in Brooklyn.
And they call us the
Um,
six borough up here.
yeah, so a lot of people. I guess that's a good place to be if you're gonna be up there. I guess. So, what kind of works are you doing up there? What kind of DJ works? What are you doing pertaining to the craft up there now?
Um, it's I've been doing a lot of community stuff with my DJing right now. I'm very heavy in my community when it comes to the youth. So just really taking a division that I started under the Fleet DJs called Fleet Teens, and we're just expanding it here in Newburgh and a couple other cities. So just trying to work. That's all. I'm a pretty quiet DJ up here, even though they tell me I'm not. But I just do what I do, and I just chill out.
Cool beans, cool beans. So, what kind of DJ are you?
Hmm? I just
Are
cut
you
my
like a
body.
mobile? Are you a open format? Or are you a
No,
specific
because I'm
genre
looking.
type DJ?
Because I'm no, I would say mobile. I mean, I
Matt.
don't
I'm
like to
looking
put
for Matt.
myself in
That's
a
it.
category at all. I'm very. I mean, I don't do house music all that, but I started off doing gospel music, so it's. I don't want to say open format because there's certain things that I don't do, certain genres, but I'm fluid in some genres.
Okay, okay. And what's your predominant go to is if in terms of equipment wise or in terms of yeah, let's do the equipment wise first.
I am rocking on a SX3 Pioneer. I learned on techniques in vinyl. I learned how to flip them records and stuff like that. So can't do it no more like that. That's a lot of crates to be trying to carry, and I'm not trying to break my back. But you know, I have learned vinyl and know how to do it when I need to. But I try to stay lightweight as possible. So I got me a nice little SX3.
So that brings me into the next deal in terms of you have been around long enough, and you talk about the whole carrying the crates thing, and we all know what that feels like over time. That kind of breaks your back, and thank God for this thing we call technology these days.
Yeah.
What is your take on back then DJing to now DJing?
I mean, back then it was more. It's crazy to say you really had to have a technique back then. You had to have the skill to actually really DJ because you didn't have a screen in front of you showing you waves, sound waves, and nothing like that, and showing you the BPMs. You had to know how to count the BPMs and just really know what you were out there doing. Now you can go ahead and hit play and damn thing tells you you're 110. So now you can blend that song without even having to put your ear to the headphones. You just hit sync, as a lot of DJs I know hit that sync button, and that's it. There you go, right there, boy. Come on now. And it's like,
That's bringing out the 45s.
that's what they say, man. Now them 45s is in storage. Um, but it was definitely back then. It was more of about a skill set.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's as long as I can hit play and know how to run a computer and read it, then you got it. It's scary to say.
Gotcha. Now, do you?
My grandfather won't touch a computer. He does CDs.
So yeah, you mentioned about you're pretty much a third generation DJ, especially with your grandfather, and you said your father too at one point, correct? And then yourself. Are there any other DJs in your family besides the three of you?
No.
Okay. So and you said that your grandfather, when he sees the controllers and all that stuff, he's totally denying that.
Yeah, I bought one for him, sent it to Tennessee, sent them the laptop, full it up with music and everything. I went to visit, everything was still in the box.
He said, I don't want this crap. I'm going back to my CDs.
He wasn't going to tell me that he wasn't using it unless, when I got there, I'm like, oh, you just put everything back in the box every time? He's like, nah, I ain't even open it yet.
Well, that is really amazing. I guess when it comes to the whole thing with DJs, they are just really, especially the old school DJs like myself. I've been doing this for 37 years, but I have learned, because I am a technology specialist, and that's what that was my primary role in this world, in the work world, that it was a little bit easier for me to adapt, whereas you have a lot of old school DJs who may not want to adapt. As a matter of fact, I had a DJ tell me just about 3 days ago, as a matter of fact, he said he will never touch a controller. He will always use turntables. And then I had to explain to him, I said, do you use a laptop? And he said, yes. I said, do you use DVS vinyl? He said, yes. And I had to explain to him, I said, you are pretty much using a controller. Because once you put that DVS on your system and you connect that laptop to your system, you have just turned your two tables and the two turntables and that mixer into one big controller.
Yeah.
And a 3-part controller, pretty much, is what it is. Then he was like, nah, he says, I do that just for, just playing for these people of the day. But when I'm home, I play my albums. And I said, I understand that. But I just want you to understand that you are utilizing today's technology. So as it relates to the technology, and like you said, I always just say, you know what? When people say that, just say exactly that, because a lot more people need to realize what they're actually using when they go that route. So are you a DJ full time, or do you have something else you do?
Well, before COVID, I was a DJ full time. Had a lot of things lined up where I could finally officially go into the game full time without having to worry about bills and everything. But once COVID hit, I kind of had to go back into my other fields that I know. So, as of right now, I am not. But once COVID says bye-bye, I'm going back.
Gotcha. You want to touch on those other fields real quick? Very briefly.
I talk about it. So, I am a licensed mortician.
Okay. So we can just imagine how that has affected you during this pandemic. So totally understand that. So, and I can see where you're looking forward to getting back to the music, because the music can serve as a way of therapy for you, as well as, like I always call it, therapy for myself. So most definitely, I know you're going to be glad to get out there and just blast your speakers and everything else. You probably gonna turn
The
it up.
past few weeks, I've been blasting my speakers and DJing, so it's picking back up a little bit.
Yeah, I actually caught you on one of your events where you had your jumper on, if that was correct.
Yeah, last weekend. Yep.
Tell us about that event.
That was my best friend's mother's birthday party. Um, Kind of, it's new trying to really do this whole social distancing, but I've always been the type of person, I don't really like people in my space when I'm DJing anyway. I'm a full blown, if people may not realize it, I'm a full blown introvert. I tell people, Ms. Official, you don't know Chandra. Chandra is an introvert. She don't like people in a bubble, and she's always kept 6 feet distance anyway. So, it was a dope event. I think it's more because it was family. They thought they could still be in my bubble, but I think they learned that we ain't gonna come over there and bother her. But it's just trying to get back to some form of a norm with
Right,
everything
right.
going on. And I don't think anybody that's health conscious, they're nothing's ever gonna be the same for them. But you just gotta know how to handle it and get out there and make your bread.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no doubt about that. So, um, I just as in Big Body, um, I've been told that I'm responsible for you being in the group as well. And that was because we wanted to have some females in the group. And through the help of your best friend T Quest, we made that happen. So it's truly a pleasure to have you in the group. You are another one that we are proud of. And you are another one who has grown some very thick skin in this group. And we don't do that as a disrespect thing, but we like the fact that we want you as a member of this group, not as female, as a member of this group, as a part of, as our colleague, to be able to stand your ground. And you have done that on numerous occasions. So at one time, I thought you was going to find you some virtual boxing gloves and knock the hell out of somebody in the room. But
It's scary to say. It's not funny, but that's the PK in me.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't help it. That's the PK in me.
Oh, preacher's kid. Uh-oh. We getting into the preacher's kid now. So since you brought that up and I didn't, tell us something about that.
It's a hard life. I mean, like I said, my dad was a DJ, but he pulled out the game when he went full time into the ministry and stuff like that. So it was a different switch and element for me because I wasn't used to going to church every Sunday. That wasn't something that we did. So when he just literally dropped his turntable, said, "I'm going into ministry," it was a little big flip. So that's why I said I did a lot of gospel music because he didn't stop me from DJing, but his thing was, if you're gonna be in my house, the only thing you're gonna do is gospel music then. So
Mm.
it was a big change, but it turned me to who I am now. I can do that gospel music when I need to, but I can turn it on and have you with your feet on the wall twerking the juvenile real quick. So it's like I said, it made me who I am.
Cool beans. So you have it pretty much in your blood, with the three generations of DJs. When was that moment? You said right around about 10 years old. And a 10-year-old is pretty much cognizant of enough of knowing when they're hit with some type of feeling that begins to transition them. So what was that moment, or what did you hear? What song did you hear, or what was the moment when you realized that you wanted to DJ?
I heard my grandfather. He was my favorite artist is Slick Rick. Some reason you could do so much, scratching and juggling with his songs. And my grandfather was playing Mona Lisa, and I'm just sitting there watching him just go back and forth, going back and forth. And I'm just like, I just started really like, my eyes was just watching his hands at that time. And one day he walked out the room. He still had the records up there and everything. And I was like, I knew I was gonna get in trouble, but I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna do what I want to do anyway. And I just started playing with it. He came in and he's like, "Who the hell is playing on my?" And he seen me, just doing it. And he's like, "How the hell you know how to do that?" I said, "Watch." I became a learner, and so then, right then and there, he's like, "This something you want to do?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to be like my pop. And he's like, "All right, so we'll start working with you." And that's literally how it all started.
Cool beans. Well, you know what? I know I could sit here and ask you a ton of questions. And we can go on and on and on and on.
Oh yeah, Papa
But it
Square.
wouldn't be fair if I did not give the DJs who are connected here the opportunity to speak to you. So I was going to start off with the primary admin, but he has stepped away. So I'm going to just move right down the line. I know Big said he looks like he's over with his jaunt with his boss. Maybe he does want to talk. Big said, you got a question for Ms. Official? I can't see you. He's off to the side right now.
Rubbing his eyes.
But so then the next in line, oh, there he is. There he is. We got the primary admin of the group, DJ Rod Flash, and it is his birthday. So we're gonna give him the honors to ask the first question.
All right, first and foremost, since you came to the group, yeah, I mean, we don't always see eye to eye, but we see eye to eye. Yeah, I mean, it's no disrespect to you on either side. And I get that you're a preacher kid, because I know a lot of preachers and reverends and, the whole gambit. My question, and I listen to and one thing about me, I'm like elephant, I don't forget what people say. And at a young age, I like what you're doing, but I would like for you to share to like a big body or a I-95, how you go about getting to like a manager and a publicist and sponsorship. Because I think that what works for them. Like I'm 53. I'm too old for that. But maybe you could help them along the line of doing what you're doing to make some extra money.
The manager portion, he found me. I was so I do a lot of corporate events and stuff like that. I don't really do a lot of the club stuff, but I do major like corporate major organizations and stuff like that. So I was DJing as they call it, a Freedom Fund banquet for NAACP down in Harlem, and there was this guy there. He said he was from my area and all this. We chit chat for a few minutes. He found out he was following me on Facebook, and took a picture with him, and that was it. We talked. I think I posted the selfie, and that was it. About 3 weeks later, he inboxed me. He says, "I have an event coming up for Juneteenth, and I want you to be the DJ." It's like, all right, let's work it out. We'll because at the time I was booking myself, so it was like, I'll get the contract signed up and everything, and we'll go from there. I get to the event. He says, "Do you have anybody representing you?" And I'm like, "What do you mean by that?" He says, "Do you have a manager?" And I'm like, "Nah, I've never seen a DJ with a manager. I do this on my own. Like, been doing it like this all along." He says, "Let's do this." He says, "First 6 months," he says, "no contract, nothing." He says, "But I want to represent you, help you get more bookings." I was like, okay, I've never had a manager, been doing all my bookings on my own. So, but the stress was becoming a lot trying to book and handle my own calendar. So I was like, all right, let's do it. And 5 years later, he's still handling all my bookings and everything. But then it became a lot where he was trying to juggle managing me, but he wanted to get sponsorships and didn't know how to do it. So my sister, she's been a publicist now 4 years, but she officially launched her business last year. So I became her first major client that she signed, and she handles like every public relation that I have on. So she handles my social media. My personal page I handle, but I have a business page, my Instagram. She handles all of that, and she pans out and sees what is a good brand that works with me. Because sometimes you can get a sponsorship and that sponsorship and that brand is not the brand for you. So it could be where Pepsi is a sponsorship for me. I don't drink soda. So you're not gonna see me sitting in a video DJing and trying to drink it because that's just not what I do. So she finds the perfect fits and just knows. She just builds as she calls it, a press kit, and she hands those press kits out to different brands and says, I have a DJ. This is her Instagram following. This is her Facebook following, and then she does all the negotiating. And if it's something that I see fit, then I go for it.
I mean, because I know a lot of top tier DJs from Tat Money to Cash Money.
Yeah.
And they top tier world premier DJs have never been sponsored. And I'm saying, as a mobile DJ, when I know you paying, just say you're making $1,000, a manager get what, like 20% or 10%, like.
Barnes doesn't. He doesn't take any cash from me at all. He's retired from the military, so he makes.
I mean, I know millionaires that manage and they still get paid.
Oh yeah. Nah, there are some.
I mean, so.
Nah, he chose.
I mean, I think it's just me. I've been doing this over 30 years or 35 years. You want to say 85 to 2020, but it's just, as a mobile DJ, I mean, and we all know how it goes. 1 month you might be hot, then you might not be cold for 2 months. And if they doing it for free, God bless them. But as a business, you need the Mr. Official brand. Yeah, I mean, and you could do this yourself. Like, all right, just say T-shirts. Put Mr. Official T-shirts out there.
Yeah, we're working on rebranding a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what COVID.
And you put your brand out there, and then that way you controlling what comes in. And a lot of times, these companies, well, we give you some free gear. But if I got 40,000 people looking at Mr. Official, and I'm just giving her free gear, but I wore Mr. Official gear with that same 40,000, how much money you would make? You know what I mean? A lot of times people don't look at that, and as colored people, we think we need the white man's money, and we don't. We need to start being our own brands and businesses.
Oh yeah, I mean, so Mizz Official, the brand, has been, getting rebranded. We had T-shirts. I had the works, but I've been rebranding my logo and stuff like that. I took COVID as a way to reset and rebuild the image that I want. So there's things that I'm doing, like I said, in my community now that I had to change certain things and rebrand so it can fit everything that I'm doing. So my manager, he's always been one of those that he wants to see me grow and help me build. And when it comes time, he always said, when it comes time to the point where we're at the point where I can pay everybody, then that's when I'll make sure I take care of everybody. We're, my sister, aka my publicist, and him, we're like one big family. I talk to them every day, and that's how we've come to where we are. And that's one thing you need just in the industry. It doesn't have to be just the entertainment industry. You need people that are always going to have your back. They're not going to let nobody tear you down no matter what's going on. And they're going to make sure that, you have everything that you need. And so that's those two. Those are my ride or dies.
Exactly. And you know what? You always need a good support team around you. Like, if y'all don't know, the guy that managed Jazzy Jeff is not really a manager. He his friend. They lived like 2 doors down since they was kids.
That's how me and my manager are. Like, I mean, he lives a good 15 minutes from me, but
right. But yeah, they grew up as kids.
2 o'clock in the morning, call him and say, "Yo, I got this idea," and he'll be up. Like, "Well, I was working on this idea for you too." And literally, that's just how we operate. Like, I can stop whatever I'm doing at. My sister is up at 3 o'clock. Yo, I was typing this press kit for you and sending this out. I just woke up with the idea. So, it's always good to have people in your corner that is going to make sure that.
And as you being a DJ,
they're going to eat too,
But as you being a DJ, and a lot of people don't know what a press kit is. I think like for the big bodies, or I don't know if I 9-5 will know what it is, but you could even teach them. Like we could have like one Zoom call where we just talk about the business side of it. Like when I came up, the whole business side is different from when I came up. Man, look, you just pay me my money and I'm good. It's just what it was. But what I like about your drive, like you my daughter's age. My daughter's a year older than you. I might look young, but yeah, I mean, I'm about to be a grandfather, all that bullshit. But your drive, like my daughter makes over 6 figures, but I see the drive and the energy that you have, and you serious and you really serious about what you're doing. And like I tell people, and I tell my daughter, if you don't take what you're doing serious, how can I take it serious? And one thing I can tell you, do not keep a lot of yes men around you, and do not keep people around you, because I know when Mr. Fisher go out, she turn up, she buy the Henny. Y'all young motherfuckers like that Henny or that whatever, Ciroc, whatever.
I want to know
But y'all buy that.
It's gonna hurt.
So I mean, only thing I can say, do what you do, and you just keep it real and be yourself. Don't get caught up in this industry, because this industry, and I'm gonna tell y'all about the entertainment business, is about smoke and mirrors, and everybody a fucking liar in this business when it comes to money. I don't trust nobody with my money but me. I can tell y'all stories where I'm gonna give y'all a real story with Migos. They came on the Breakfast Club. They manager was getting $3,000 every time they done an interview, but they manager was telling him he was doing it for free. And y'all can research it, y'all can look it up. That's true facts. But that's pretty much it. I mean, just own your craft and be you. Like,
Cool.
and what I noticed from a lot of, I'm not going to say big artists, like I know certain people, but a lot of times people put themselves up here when they right here.
You gotta remain humble in this game, no matter how far you get.
You know what I mean? Like you got a rapper. My shit is banging in 50 State. Motherfucker, you only banging in Philly and Jersey. You know what I mean?
You gotta stay humble. I mean, hell, I could be walking around. I've DJed for Melba Moore 3 times in a row, and was only the second female DJ to touch the Sugar Bar stage in Manhattan at Nick Ashford's bar. But I'm humble about what I do, and you just got to continue to remain humble, because if you don't,
and that's good to just
God will snatch you down quicker than you've been up there.
Most definitely, just to move forward, and to just make sure that you hone in on your craft, remain humble, and establish good relationships, good trusting relationships. So and once you do those things, those things will definitely put you on the path.
It would take you far,
So most definitely. So now we have DJ Big Body, aka BB. What's up?
Hey, Miss Official.
What's up?
From one preacher's kid to another. What does or how does your family react when you play outside of gospel? Are they, they're like, no, that's devil's music, or they embrace it? Because I know my mother, who was an evangelist, she, whenever I play like Southern Soul or whatever, she will get down with me.
I mean, my dad, like I said, my dad was a DJ before he became a preacher. So, he knows the deal. It's more my grandmother, not the one that lived with me, but my dad's grandmother. She's an evangelist, and she'll come to the family cookouts. But the moment I start playing, I played Tootsie Slide one time, and she lost her mind. She's like, "I'm going to the car. I'm not listening to this." And
oh wow.
My grandfather had to go have a talk with her, and he's like, "You get mad at her, but you can't get mad at me. You don't get mad at me when I'm still out there DJing." So that's really the only person that really has an issue. My other family, I mean, they all booked me. I mean, hell, that's how I travel up and down the East Coast, down all
Okay.
Alabama because of them, because they, they bring me down there to DJ and stuff like that. So, you know, most of my family is supportive. It's just unfortunately you got that one
Jeez,
COVID.
my family is cheap. They would never do that.
Oh no, my family they're heavy supporters. My family love to drink and party, so they gonna book me.
It's understandable.
Cool beans. So now we have DJ I95.
What's up, Miss Official?
Not gone.
Chilling. Question: as far as your brand, are you trying to jump into production or remixes or anything like that?
I am. I used to produce a little bit. I have a couple of like gospel songs that I've helped produce in the church. I play keys a little bit. So I'm getting back into the production side of things a little bit more. I've, re-downloaded a lot of programs and getting my equipment all over again. So I'm trying to get back into that side of things. My grandfather was really pushing for me to learn how to blend a lot more because that was his thing. So I've been learning how to do that again. Got a couple that I've played around with. So, it's coming back to me. And now that we got the time, basically, you could say, because of COVID, I've been, just working on a lot of that stuff. So.
Okay, please put them out there. That's a big part of DJing is blending stuff like that. So please put it out there. I'm glad you're one of my DJ sisters. Salute to you too, man. Thank you.
Cool beans. Yes. Continue to salute you. Keep doing your thing. Always we are proud of you as well. We want to move you forth and do whatever we can to support. Then we got my man down in H-Town, not the big fella, but the other one down there, DJ Big Dooley. You got any questions?
Dooley done went to sleep.
Oh, Dooley's probably knocked out. What about DJ Joe Storm?
I think he finally went to sleep too.
So, Miss Official, the one thing that I did not bring up, and I waited till after everyone was done to see if they were going to actually ask the question, and they did. Maybe Big Said. Big Said, you got a question for Miss Official? DJ Miss Official?
I was getting ready to say, you better not.
All right. So now we have the question that I wanted you to share. I'm gonna say, I wanted you to answer, and I guess it'll be a little insight for all whom are here, and that is, how did you come up with your name?
So my mother gave me that DJ name. I would always DJ behind my grandfather. So my grandfather was DJ Jimmy Jam. So for a long time there, they would call me Little Jimmy Jam, and I was like, all right, man, I can't be walking around with that DJ name, And so my mom was like, one day she's like, Miss Official, and I'm like, huh? She's like, but spell it different, spell it Mizz, and I'm like, okay. And so I would rock with it for a little while, and like a while back I wanted to change it, but now I can't even go on Walmart without somebody say, yo, Official. That's literally all I hear now, Official. So I kept it. I've always wanted to change it, but it's the brand now. So, you just learn how to enjoy it and use it. And it's worked for me now. So I take it and I like it. It's fun.
Cool beans. Well, it looks like we had a few of the guys. They were asleep, knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
And wait a minute, it looks like Flash is talking again. He's muted. Unmute yourself, Flash.
Let y'all into our Flash world, so y'all can ask me anything.
What'd you
And
say
I don't
now?
normally do interviews, but
Well,
I'm
let me finish this Miss Official interview.
Oh boy!
Oh,
he's awake.
DJ Storm is awake. So, DJ Storm, do you have anything? You have a question for DJ Miss Official, our interviewee of the night?
Oh, we interviewing Miss Official?
Yep.
Oh.
You missed DJ BB. We did a good one on her, and now we're doing a good one on Ms. Official. So do you have any questions?
That's that Android, man.
That's the high pass filter on again.
How long you been DJing?
Next year, if we count from when I first touched the turntable, it'll be 20 years.
Okay.
I'm near retirement age.
What made you start the DJing outside of your family life?
I know he was asleep.
Yeah, we had all those questions answered. But go ahead.
I go back to sleep, Joe.
Go ahead.
Go back to sleep.
Nighty night, nigga.
Nighty night.
I really wasn't asleep. I was hollering at SP about something that happened with Fleet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just, my grandfather. That's literally how I really wanted to do it, watching what he was doing and just loving that sound. So, really wasn't any outside influences. Damn Android again, man.
Joe?
What do you look to achieve out of this game at some point?
I'm trying to get I want a Vegas residency.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's some serious forward thinking right there. And you know what? It can be done. You put it in the air and it shall come to pass as long as you put the work in to make it happen.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Las Vegas residency, whew, that's a busy time because, that's nonstop. That's nonstop. 3, 4, 5 shows a day.
Yeah,
but,
a lot of community stuff done here first.
You can do it. You can do it, So it just depends. But I just want to say that, we like your drive. We love the way you focus on on what you got to do. And that we are always been here. I feel that you have learned a lot since you've been in the group. I know that a lot of the DJs will double down on that as well. And as we move forth, as a group, we got your back. And, as you are thinking about these particular goals that you have in life that you want to achieve, the best advice I could give you is get you a planning board and just, take it in brackets. Because one thing I've learned is if you try to take on everything at once, it's going to be very difficult to focus. So, and I've always said this to several people. Of course, everyone knows I wear a lot of hats, but I'm not wearing 4,000 hats and a master of none. I may wear 15 hats and I think I master them pretty well. So I always I was talking to a guy and I told him, I said, look, I said, you wear all these hats and you are not a master of any, but you could take one thing and do it 4,000 times and be the best at it. So that's the difference. So when it comes to what you're looking to succeed in life and looking to grow and building your brand and everything else, get you a vision board, get you something that's going to help you accelerate that particular part of yourself. And then once you got that bracket filled, then you can go to the next bracket and the next bracket. So basically what you're doing at that point is you're building a puzzle. And that puzzle is designed to fit together and build a bigger picture until the point where that picture is your whole scenario. You know what I'm saying? And once you got your scenario, hey, it's Busta Rhymes and LONS and Q-Tip and, Tribe Called Quest moments at that point. You get what I'm saying? So, the whole scenario is built and you can do so much more when you have that, because through all of that, those pieces that you're building, you've been able to learn about those. So when you're speaking on them and you're presenting them, it's so fluent with the way you deliver it. They know that it's not only something that you have read or memorized, it's actually part of your fabric and it's ingrained in you to the point where it's knowledge that can never be forgotten knowledge that can never be taken away, and knowledge that can be so intriguing to other individuals who receive it that they have no other choice but to deal with you. So that's the beauty of it all. So at this point, I say thank you. I thank you for once
Appreciate
for
you.
being, and we appreciate you. You know, we don't only look at you as a female DJ. You are part of us. You are a member of the crew. You know what I mean? And we appreciate you, and we love you for that. You know, you got us, and we want you to continue to grow. We want success. And if there's everything that between you, BB, any of the DJs in here that we can do to help, you know, you got us. So before I close, I'm gonna ask you the question that I always ask, and is there any homework for us?
Any homework for y'all?
Yes.
No, just keep supporting me. Look out for a couple of announcements that'll be coming out soon. It's not even really dealing with DJing, but it's a lot of the community stuff that I do. It's really some major moves that I've been working on quite a few years now, but I will be officially running for city council in my city, making an announcement probably by the end of the summer. So
That's what's up.
I'm taking a couple of journeys that I've been already doing anyway. I was been in politics for quite a while with NAACP and everything, so that's more the Chandra side that people don't see. But you know, some things got to change, and if I can go ahead and do it on a bigger platform, then so be it. So
Cool beans.
keep working on that.
Well, excuse me. I would say in the politics side, don't let them buy you. I'll just keep it there.
But that's the good part of having my manager. So he's a town councilman where he lives at also. So
Yeah, don't let them buy you. You know, you come in with your deal and
I
just
didn't run
go.
last year. So a lot of people don't know. As of last year, I was supposed to run for city council for a different seat, and there's this young gentleman. He's got a band, and I DJ for them sometime. He came up to me and said, "I have a major donor for you for your campaign." Said, "Here's the blank check. You just tell us how much you need for the campaign, and we got you." Right there, I knew I'm not running this year because I didn't need that. They were trying to buy me, and the person that ran in that place, he took that check, and now everything that he's saying no to is because of them. So now he's being called a coon and all that other crazy stuff because you promised the community one thing, but once you got that check, now you got to do what they're doing. So, you know, I've been watching, and I'm a very observant person. I observe before I really do. So definitely learning and paying attention to a lot of things.
Well, continue to do what you got to do. Stay focused, and you know, with that city councilman piece, the question I would ask, being that you brought that up, is how will you juggle the two? Will DJing be kind of set to the side at that point because you're going to have a lot on your hand at that point, or you will?
No, our council. So our council here where I live at is part time.
Okay.
So it would be more, like I said, on a part time basis, and it's kind of crazy, but I kind of already juggle the political life and DJing because I'm right now. Hasn't really been a big announcement, but I've been doing it now for about 3 years. I'm the director of youth development and civic engagement in my city. So I've been pretty juggling city hall and DJing for now like almost 3 years. So, you know, it hasn't really been a struggle. So I'm just gonna add on, you know, upgrade of what I'm doing and keep it moving, you know.
Gotcha. Well, this has been good. This has been insightful for sure. And it's always good to learn about who we are in with every night. So that has truly been a blessing. You have too have been quite insightful and have let us know some things and have shared some things with us to give us a better picture of who Chandra is, as well as Mizz Official. So that definitely works on both ways. So I'm going to close this out by saying, check this out, y'all. We got this young lady here who's doing her thing. She has a support team that's working behind her to put her in positions where she can actually escalate up to the next level, which is beautiful. And if she has a team, like I told her, she got someone in her corner that was working with her like that. Let that continue to be the thing that's the building blocks of success for her. And that has been truly great. And it is truly great to have you. It is truly great to talk to you. And it's truly great to just call you sister, and truly great to also just know that you're part of us. So we appreciate you. And this is none other than the one, the only, Ms. Official. We thank you. Have a good night.